Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk. Thinking right in my living room, where I do what I do for you. This morning, I got to wrap up the last lesson on death. Yeah, I kind of like that, so let me finish it up for you. But before then, you know the deal. Writers and 25 rules live by storytelling, story with a message in a story for life. These are life lessons I'm giving you. All you got to do is tune in and receive them. I'm giving them for you. I'm glad you are. Appreciate you. Let's go. Right Thinking's mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment, knowing yourself a little better. Get to know yourself. Interesting person. Right Thinking's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline daily. Gotta do it every day. Will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka knowing thyself. That's the question. Do you know you? Here's the question. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Is that you? Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not. Simple. Teach them. That's what I do for you. Tune in. I got you. A person who knows not but believe that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows but knows not that they know is asleep. I can awaken them. That's what I do. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons, they reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And you know the deal. To my art, be true. Got to keep the balance in your life. Because you know with life comes death. Right thinkers, let's talk about death. Life's other half, or I call it the twin. We live in a duality world where everything has poles, everything has an equal opposite. Day has night, up have down, in have out. You get the picture? So life has death. Let's talk about it. All right. Right there in philosophy, I teach you about death because it's a necessary understanding in order to live. If you live worried about dying, you're not going to live. Understand that. Right thinking philosophy teaches you that death is just life's other half, a new beginning, so to speak. The Egyptians knew that in order to get to the afterlife, you had to get through this life. Living this life, Mayat was the way to the afterlife. Get an understanding with that, and trust me, it'll work for you. Why? Because you get comfortable. Like living, oh, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Oh, you're going to die. So get that concept out your mind and understand it. It's a part of life. Right thinking teaches you that life is has expiration date. Your body will deteriorate. End of discussion. We all know that. They say the phrase is body to earth, spirit to its maker. If it get enlightened. If it don't get enlightened, it get reincarnated. Okay? That's the concept. Just bring it to you. If you're born in the world, everything that's born will perish. Simple as that. That's nature. Recycle. But guess what? The stuff that die to go back in the earth, it feeds the earth. So nothing gets wasted. Nature is very good at recycling and taking care of itself. But life, they understand that too. They didn't get life wrong. Oh, we got everything perfect except life. No, everything is perfect. Trust me. The maker didn't make no mistakes. All right? Conceptually. All right, watch this. With right thinking philosophy, you live for the judgment day. We all say, no, death. Okay, no, y'all call it death. We call it judgment day. When this life is over, you're going to be judged by the contents of your heart, your character, how in which you live on this earth during this time. And guess who the judge? You are your own judge. So be careful. Okay, watch yourself. Next one is when you're spiritually enlightened, you don't fear death. Religion is for those who scared to go to hell. Spirituality is for those who've been through hell. So you can't scare me with death. Come on, man. That's too easy. Come on, fellas. This is elementary stuff. We want to get better at living. So you got to raise your level of understanding of life. Period. Young people, this is for you. Sorry about that. All right, here you go. Our ancestors knew that if you live Mayat now, the afterlife is guaranteed to you. We call it, well, you be a good Christian, you be a good Muslim, you be a good Jew, you go to heaven. Okay, but y'all didn't make that. Y'all took that concept from somewhere. That's what I'm saying. I'm moving on. Sorry about that. All right. Now, I'm good with my life that I'm living. Why? I'm living at my yacht. I'm living right thinking. I'm living what I think is best for me. And it working for me. Now you choose what you do. It's working for you, God bless you. I ain't got no problem with that. But right thinking is doing what works for you. Not what I say do. All right? Right thinking philosophy just gives you understanding so that dying won't be a fear. It won't be a constant thought in your mind. You are a spiritual being having a human experience, and the human experience will run out. Sorry about that. All right. Being spiritually enlightened, the people live righteous lives. They do the right thing. Why? Because that's what spiritual discipline is for. The person to take stock in his spirituality and feel better about himself and do the right thing. I keep telling you, I use spiritual discipline to live by. That's what it means. Okay? Hold yourself accountable to do the right thing. I live to make the afterlife. Why? Because we got the same thing here, heaven and hell. Okay, afterlife, I live to go to heaven. I mean, if I do right, live right, I can go to heaven. Same concept. It don't change. But the one thing that also don't change is what you have to do to get that to happen. All right, I'm feeling pretty good about myself this morning. You know, Sunday morning, I get amped on Sunday. All right, this is the day. Everybody's spiritual today. I appreciate it, but God wants you every day. Here you go. Dying is for the ignorant. Death is for the people who don't know life. Watch this. We suffer because we are ignorant. When you're a right thinker, when you got knowledge of self, you don't fear death. You understand it's a necessary evil to live. So it's part of life. If you're living to have fame before, you're living to be rich and famous and thinking that in this world, what you have, ain't none of that going with you. Tutankhamun, perfect example. And I use that one because all his riches, he was the pharaoh, young pharaoh. But when he died, that party was over. All his riches are still here. We got him. Okay, so you think the stuff that you're making, you taking none of that with you. You going the way you came into the world. Buck naked. Nothing. Understand that. Conceptually, so I ain't trying to freak you out. All right, here you come. Death comes to all ignorant people who lack knowledge of themselves. They scared of dying. I seen my old man on his deathbed, scared to death. Why? He hadn't gotten enlightened. He hadn't risen to the spiritual level. So he was like an ignorant spiritual person, like all of y'all, scared to death. Okay? Get knowledge of self. It takes away the fear factor. Okay? I'm living a righteous life. Why? Because I choose to. And the rewards for that is the afterlife. I don't live for man. I don't live for now. I live for later. You can do the same thing, but that's what I do. I don't want to die physically, but I know I will. But I know consciously I will live on. And spiritually, I know that for a fact. Now, do you? Question is, what you know and what you think and what you believe. 2, 3 different things. But what you know should be what you live by. That's what I do. Here you go. Now, death is only the end for what? The ignorant of spirituality. If you're running around thinking this world is everything is this, you got to have not accumulating stuff, and got a big bank account, got a fancy house, you got all that good stuff, ain't none of that going with you. That's the point. Okay? If your knowledge of self is not there, death scares you to death. Ignorance, I tell you. Death is the twin other side of life. The coin has 2 sides. Right now we got heads. We up. But guess what? There's something that's under there that we gonna end up running into eventually. Trust me on that one. It's called death, but it's called the afterlife for those with knowledge of self. If you don't know yourself, aka knowing God, death will be the end all for you. Simply, yeah, because your conscience goes, the body goes. It's called dying twice. Okay? We've been there before. I told you that story. Death is life for those who know themselves, who live right. Death don't affect us. Death don't scare us. Have understanding and have the battle. That's all. If you live your best life, aka right thinking philosophy, death will never come to you. Why? When it happens, you'll be too busy doing what you're doing. So the consciousness goes on. Every night you go to sleep. Every time you lay down and go to sleep, you're practicing what? To die. consciously. The conscious, the body shuts down. You don't need the body. So all goes on in the spirit and the mind. Those are two things that need to get together. Okay? Make the connection. Here you go. I'm about to wrap it up. Again, I got to get this done. I'm way over time. Uh-oh. Here you go. Life and death, yin and yang, they always go together. Opposites gonna go together. That's how it's done. That's nature. Right thinking philosophy teaches you about what we call duality. Left got to have a right. Good got to have a bad. You feel me? So everything has to have an opposite or it won't mean nothing. It don't count. The devil is just the opposition of God. He don't exist. You create him. This little tidbit. All right. Life is to live knowing that death is a real part of this. It's coming. It's going to happen. Life is not about not worrying about death, but living your best life while you can. Eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we die. Yeah, that means live your best life because tomorrow ain't guaranteed to you, so you might not make it, but do the best you can while you can, and if that happens, you did your best. That's what you want from your maker. Well, good job, my faithful servant. Yeah, all that, yeah, but if you're living it, that's what you want. That's what you will receive. That's the name of the game. Everybody, everything born will die, but remember, right thinkers are spiritual beings having a human experience, so we don't die. We multiply like baby kids. All right, death comes to the body. Your spirit needs the body to live, but when death comes, it leaves. The body say, "See ya. I wouldn't want to be you." Why? Because you didn't wake it up, so now it's gonna get reincarnated. Have a good day. I appreciate you. I'll be back.